Hello, I'm the Movie Geek, and today I'm going to be talking Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. This was the eagerly anticipated follow-up to Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, and in all honesty, it wasn't that bad. It was a continuation. It did raise the stakes, but the thing it got wrong was, in my opinion, having the focus on Jack.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Sorry, I'm going to have to get used to this. Captain Jack Sparrow. Don't get me wrong, he's good, he's enjoyable, he's funny, especially when the focus isn't on him. When he interacts with the main story, that is when he's best. It just felt that this time they were trying to cash in on how good he was in the original than create a good story. And yes, I know that's what studios do, but to me it just felt a little bit off. The story follows Jack as he attempts to steal the heart of Davy Jones, the ferryman to the afterlife and the captain of the ghost ship, the Flying Dutchman. Jack made a deal with Jones for the return of the Black Pearl that was at the bottom of the ocean. Will's father is a member of the Dutchman's crew, and he visits Jack to tell him that time is almost. The other main part of the story is tying up the loose ends from Curse of the Black Pearl, where we saw Will, Elizabeth and Norrington help Jack escape. The East India Company come and they have warrants for the arrest of these three people, and they crash Will and Elizabeth's wedding, which means they're not married. Will is then tasked in finding Jack.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Sorry, Captain. So he can deliver Jack's mysterious compass to the head of the East India Company, Lord Cutler Beckett. The return to this world is a welcome one, don't get me wrong, I was excited for it along with everyone else. The success of Curse of the Black Pearl gave confidence to Disney, which they didn't have at the beginning of Curse of the Black Pearl, and they greenlit both the second and the third instalment at the same time to be shot back to back, which to be fair is sensible, and it has been done to help get that full story arc done. And it's been done before with the likes of Back to the Future and Lord of the Rings. But due to this, the story is, to me, it's a lot muddier. It's extremely convoluted, and at times it's boring. The characters are all out for themselves. The happy ending that we saw at Curse of Black Pearl has just been glossed over, and no one cares for one another except for Will and Elizabeth, who care for each other. That is all they're focused on. With most sequels, the events of the film have been ramped up, and as with most sequels, it doesn't always mean that's a good thing. The action seems bigger, and at times extremely choreographed, to the point that there are no stakes. You know that they're all going to come out of it alive. I know that that was how it was in the first film, but here it just seems like a dance. The CGI also increases in use, with the intermittent undead pirate replaced with mutated sea creatures, pirates, in the form of Davy Jones's crew. Despite the CGI being extremely good looking, tell it's CGI, and it does take you out of the film slightly, despite Bill Nye's acting. You can tell that there's been an increase in funding due to the success of the first one, but it does take away from the story, in my opinion. The runtime has increased, and at times, I know when I was at the cinema, at times you can tell that it has increased because you get some. But saying all that, I had a good time with Dead Man's Chest. It was good to be back in this world, to see these characters. Not much has changed from the end of Curse of the Black Pearl. Will and Elizabeth are trying everything they can to get back to each other. Jack is still trying to stay alive, and he escapes traps in even more convoluted ways than he did in the first one. They try to have a side story where there may be a brief romance with Jack and Elizabeth, with Elizabeth holding on to the compass that tells the holder what their heart wants, and it keeps pointing at Jack. And I suppose it does go somewhere with the ending and the rift that builds between Will and Elizabeth, but it just seems a little bit tacked on. I don't know. From an audience point of view, it just doesn't feel like it's going to go anywhere. Johnny Depp brings another good portrayal of Jack.
Captain.
Sorry, Jack. I'm going to call you Jack. He is over the top, if not more so than in The Curse of the Black Pearl. And it's quite fitting that we hardly ever see him captaining a ship. He's always just lost it, or he's always on the trail of his ship. Makes sense. He's a crap captain. It was an enjoyable adventure, but it didn't seem to hit the same notes as the original. But with the increase in budget, it appears to be trying too hard to set up that larger story. It works and it is enjoyable, but it isn't as good as the first. And unfortunately, this is the route that the next two films take. But the style and tone keeps the film entertaining. I did say the CGI of David Jones's crew was quite distracting, but it was interesting to see where they were going. They weren't just the same types of pirates that we'd seen before. They weren't undead. They were physically changing into sea creatures. And it worked. It was very good and imaginative. This has only been a short one today because Dead Man's Chest is a good example of a film setting up the sequel. The way I see the Pirates of the Caribbean films is you've got Curse of the Black Pearl, which is a perfect standalone film, and then you get these two, which is just one big film set in two. I don't see it as a trilogy, I just see it as these two. It's just three different stories. So you've got Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, At World's End, and then you've got Stranger Tide. That's how I see these films. It does continue on, but it's not linked. That makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, I'm the Movie Geek, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. It's been a bit up and down, but anyway, thanks for watching. You can follow me on Facebook and WordPress, and if you want to let me know what you think, please let me know in a comment, and I will get back to you. I will see you soon with At World's End. Thanks for watching.